Nice. We've got a new champion in Dricus du Plessis. I'm curious, did you have him winning that fight? It was a very close fight, and did you have him on the scorecards winning?
It's funny. We were just looking at how the media had scored it, and right down the middle, I had it 2-2 going into the last round, and I thought Strickland won the last round. Guys who were sitting at the same table had it the other way, and it was a close fight. I thought Strickland looked great in the first 2 rounds. I mean, the jab was fucking beautiful. You don't see jabs like that in MMA. And the jabs did what they're supposed to do. Both of his eyes were swollen shut. He slowed down in the 3rd and 4th. Du Plessis kept coming forward, then started mixing up takedowns and punches. And I had it even going to the 5th round. I'm like, this is the round, see who wants it. And they both started to turn it up a little bit. It's one of those tight fights. But I'm also one of these guys, I believe you have to take it from the champion. So.
Sean Strickland's an interesting thing, right? Like, some of the things he says piss a lot of people off. I'm sure it can't be great for sponsors, but clearly this week he has become a massive star for the UFC. So with that in mind, do you want to give him an immediate rematch because it was such a close fight, or what do you want to do with Sean next?
I don't know. I mean, eventually these two are going to end up fighting again, I'm sure. But we're not thinking about an immediate rematch right now.
Okay. Dricus did call for Israel Adesanya. I know that everyone asks you about the UFC 300 main event every day at this point, I'm sure, but is that something that could potentially happen at all?
I'll have UFC's 300's main event for you soon.
Give us a hint.
Huh?
Give me a hint.
No.
Okay.
Sean Strickland, the story of the week, maybe the story of the last year, 14 months. There was a bit of a scuffle earlier this week. Some comments he made, some offensive comments, caused some public backlash. But I know you're not in the policy of policing your fighter's speech. But was there any discussion with UFC, ESPN, Bud Light, any sponsors about like how to kind of handle this situation?
Zero.
At the same time, from the people in Toronto, from the fans, he received maybe one of the loudest reactions I've ever seen live. It was almost like Conor McGregor asked, "What's your impression of his star power right now? Like, does he always have to be fighting in front of crowds now? Can he still go to the UFC Apex? How do you view his drawing power?"
Yeah, obviously, you heard the gate and all that stuff. That's a combination of UFC coming back to Canada and the main event. But yeah, he can fight anywhere. Any of these guys can fight anywhere. Sean Strickland was never not an issue that we thought he couldn't draw anywhere, or we don't ever really think like that. We put on the best cards that we possibly can, and you roll into a city and we do all the bells and whistles, and we hope that the fighters do their job and deliver.
Did you get the sense from this week though that he's one of your top guys now?
Yeah, he's a star for sure, and I think now the way that this stuff works is now Dricus wins tonight, wins the title, and I've been talking about Africa, and maybe we start looking at South Africa and start looking at arenas and possibly doing a fight down there this year.
But when the trash talk between Sean and Dricus got a little dark there with the child abuse and then the brawl at 296, did you ever consider going to those guys and saying, "Hey, this might be the one time you need to tone it down"?
This might be the one time you need to what?
Tone it down, the trash talk.
I don't tell anybody to do anything. I don't try to control any other human beings in any way, shape, or form. They do it I say it all the time, we're in the fight business, and if you get your feelings hurt that bad, you probably shouldn't ask the type of questions when you know the answer you're going to get from Strickland. Let's start there. You know what I mean? If you ask him, you know who he is, and if you ask him a certain question, he was baited in that question.
I'm not, sorry, my mistake. Not referring to that question, just, Strickland got a little...
I know what you're saying.
Okay.
I know what you asked me. It is what it is. It's the fight business, man.
Yeah, and as far as the middleweight title, you have Khamzat Chimaev out there tweeting to Dricus right now saying, "See you at UFC 300. We know Dricus versus Adesanya is a huge fight too. What is going to be the process you guys take in figuring out what Dricus's next title defense will be? Because those are obviously both huge fights."
We'll figure this out Tuesday. We'll probably announce it next week.
Do you know what Izzy's availability is? Is he trying to fight again this year?
Do I know?
Israel Adesanya, is he looking to come back sooner than later? Do you know?
We'll find out next week.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. There's obviously a lot of talk about Khamzat Chimaev potentially being next in line for a middleweight title shot. He posted some concerning health updates on social media a few weeks ago. It seems like he's okay. I mean, now he's obviously calling to fight at UFC 300. But do you know for sure? Do you have any sort of official update on where he's at?
Yeah, it's weird. He did get very sick, and I know he's better. I don't know if he's let's fight in 300 better, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So where do things stand with Conor right now? Is he fighting in June?
No. If when Conor's ready to fight, we'll announce it. That's what we do.
June is a possibility, though?
I don't know.
Okay.
Good?